It's the Blizz Dripper by Kukuki Sick. Alrighty, so here's the little box the Blizz RDA comes in. Little bitty box. And of course, inside that little bitty box, you're going to receive your Blizz RDA. And you're also going to receive a baggie of extra goodies, which comes with some O-rings, a flathead screwdriver, and 4 extra gold-plated flathead screws. Now, I've seen this Blizz RDA in 3 different colors. You got rainbow, comes in black, and stainless steel. My 2 favorites is the rainbow and the stainless steel, of course, but I like the rainbow a little bit more. Something about the rainbow just really pops. But this is a 24mm RDA. She's primarily made of stainless steel. She's got a gold-plated deck section, 24mm in width, and she's 34mm in length. Let's start at the top. I love the resin drip tip this thing comes with. Resin, it's so hard to beat, man. I think it's better than Delrin, but it is way more expensive. These resin drip tips, man. And this drip tip, some people are having issues with this thing fitting on here that I've seen. In order to, make it fit flush, you just got to pop it in there and then twist, and it doesn't pop up. I haven't had any issues with all my resin drip tips. For all 3 of these that I showed you, none of them have popped up. None of them have been lopsided. It's fit perfect. At the base, she's got a protruding copper 510 pin threads. Gold-plated threads are nice and smooth, and it says Blizz, and it also says designed by Leo.x. And it has a flathead screw at the base, and that's what keeps the negative connection secure. So here's the top cap, the drip tip, and just the barrel section. Here's the inside. Everything is nice and clean, and it's got that conical thing going on to increase the flavor and to smooth out that airflow. And this sucker pops off. And you got dual airflow. This is a dual coil RDA, not for single coilers. That may be a con to you. But the airflow's got this little step-up thing going on both sides. Chuff cap once again. Single O-ring. Love the rainbow. Absolutely beautiful finish. And again, here's just the barrel. You got one big old slot on one side, one big old slot on the other, and then engraved it says Blizz. So in order to adjust the airflow, what you got to do is line up those slots, just like so, press fit it down, and then right now we're in the largest airflow setting, and if we want to adjust it down, we just turn it, and see how it closes it off? It's got that step up, step down system. You close it off even more, close it off even more, even more, even more. Perfect amount of restrictiveness, guys. Actually, when this thing gets juiced up, it gets a little bit loose, but I don't mind it. Makes it easy to take off and on the top cap. So here's the gold-plated deck section for this Blizz RDA. It's got a split post deck section, so you can just drop your juice down in there. It's going to get to the wick and to the coil, and it is a little bit tight, but it does work. Okay, the split post a little bit tight. Like I said, you got your flathead screws on the top connections, and then your side mount connections use those flathead screws. Love these screws, a big fan of them. But let me just point this out. This is not for your big fuse Clapton type of builds. This is not for your big interlock alien, your big alien builds, your big stagger fuse Clapton type of builds, because you have to use the outside connections in order to pop those builds in there. And if you do that, you're not going to have enough room on the outside for your wick to tuck in. I mean, you could do it, it's just going to be tight and it's going to be a pain. Okay, the way I've been using this thing is I've been using the top mount screws, okay, the middle section, and I've been popping medium-sized fuse Claptons, medium-sized alien builds, medium-sized interlock alien builds, and if I do use the outside connections, I use round wire, just round N80, round Kanthal, round stainless steel, and that way I could pop my big old macro builds in there and then center them. That's how I've been using the outside connections, but mostly I've been using these inside connections right here, the top mount connections. Also, you got an average size juice well, nice and deep, not the deepest that I've seen, but again, it's average. You got your positive connection here, hence the peak insulator. Right here, you got the negative connection, which is screwed into this flathead screw. Now, this right here, okay, I've not had any issues with my negative connection getting loose on me. If you have one where your negative connection is getting loose on you, chances are you have a clone of this. There is a clone of this out there. I don't know why there is a clone of these devices anymore. This is 2017, for goodness sake, but there is a clone. So, if yours is wobbly, you probably have a clone. If you have an authentic, you're probably not going to have any issues. I haven't had any issues with the 3 that I own, and they're all authentic, obviously, okay? It's got dual O-rings, and I tell you, I like the way the barrel fits on here. It doesn't fit too tight, but it doesn't fit too loose. It fits perfect. Let me show you. Here she is, bone dry. Oh yeah, perfect fit. And when this thing gets lubed up, it obviously gets a little bit looser. But again, not too loose, just the right amount of tightness. So here she is, boys and girls, the build that I'm rocking today. This is a medium dual fuse Clapton build wrapped around a 2mm bit. Each coil is. I'm utilizing the top slots. Like I said, it's easy. You just pop both your leads in there, you tighten down the connections, and I make sure there's just a little bit space. You don't want to, clog up that base of the coil with cotton. You want there to be a little bit of space, and I've got each coil about halfway down. You see that? And this is the way I've been doing it. Now you can drop it, you can raise the coil, it's all subjective. And what I like about this is the split post deck section. You can just blat your juice on there and it drops to the base, to the wick, and to the coil. Line up the slots on both sides with each coil, press fit down on there. Now look at that, it's hitting the bottom half of each coil on both sides. Like I said, ready to chuck. The juice that I'm rocking today is this blueberry custard from my own Plume line. You can get it at vapetrick.com. 25% off everything. Use code THANKS25. If you like wild blueberries and you like custard, you're going to like this juice. Again, 25% off everything. vapetrick.com. First con that I found for this Blizz RDA, it does not come with a standard 510 drip tip adapter, so you can't use your preferred 510 drip tips. The second one, you cannot run this thing in single coil mode. It's meant for dual coil only. The third, and this is a subjective one, it may be a pain to grip the top cap, because you don't have that much room to grip it, but to me, it's not that big of a deal. And once this thing gets juiced up, it's good to go. But again, it may be a subjective con to you guys. Okay, the gold plating down here, the contrast between the stainless steel and the gold, or the rainbow and the gold, or the black and the gold. Some of you guys may not like this gold section right here. That's just something to point out. Alrighty, so I got this Blizz RDA sitting on this Karen TC218. This is a phenomenal mod. I already reviewed it. I'll post a link down in the description. Highly recommend this mod. Love how hard this thing hits. The build that I have in here is a dual fuse Clapton, and she's reading at 0.17. Okay, I said in the closeout was 0.2, 0.17, and I'm only vaping at 60 watts, guys. And I've got the airflow, the lowest slot open on each side, pretty much wide open. You guys know the drill. This mod can freaking chuck. I mean, it all depends on the device you have on here. But this Blizz RDA, back to the Blizz, I'm digging her. I really am digging her for an RDA. It's right up there with like the Icon RDA as far as the airflow, the vape quality. I mean, it's a little bit different. Looks kind of like the Icon RDA, doesn't it? But the airflow off this, smooth, smooth, smooth. Oh yeah, look at those nice dense clouds. And the juice, the blueberry custard is phenomenal. Again, I'll post a link down in the description to where you can get the blueberry custard. 25% off everything over at vapetrick.com. Let's go ahead and get into the pros, shall we? First of all, love the resin drip tip, man. I love how thick it is. Like how it's got that concave thing going on. Does it decrease the spit back? Nah, I don't think it does, but I do think it enhances the flavor just a little bit. So yeah, I love the drip tip, love the feel. Feels good in the old mouth. I mean, that's what she said, right? But it just feels so freaking good. It's so smooth. It's so rounded off. Resin, yes, it's more expensive, but it's worth every penny. Next pro, airflow, smooth. This is closed off, pretty much closed off on its lowest setting, and here she is. Yeah, it is a little bit loud, just like most other devices, but it's smooth loud, okay? I'm going to open her up just a little bit, just so you can hear it to its next setting. Oh yeah, smooth, smooth, smooth. Next setting. Smooth all across the board. You know, I'm really digging this build deck, especially for your medium-sized to small builds. It's really cool. It's really easy to pop the leads in. Now, even though you're sharing the space, the lead space with those connections, it's still easy. And I love, love, love the flathead screws. Big old flathead screws. I mean, big old flathead screws for the size of the deck. Like the split post deck system, so you can just blat your juice in. And the fact that this is a 24mm RDA, that's another pro. Love my 24 and 25mm devices. Looks the tits on this Karen. And even the length of this RDA is nice. With the drip tip, with the resin drip tip, this thing is just beautiful. It's a beautiful RDA. Gorgeous. 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 Love the color options, rainbow, stainless steel, and black, and there's probably other ones. But those are the ones that I received. So those are the ones I'm going to show you. Back to the build deck. Even though this thing is easy to build on, what I mean by easy to build on, it's easy for someone who's been in the build game for a while. For you newbies out there, I wouldn't recommend it. Not for the first starting out device. I mean, the flavor off this is just like any other device, any other top-notch device out there. It's smooth airflow. It's just a great quality vape, obviously depending on the build you pop in there and how you wick it. And it looks like an Icon RDA. It looks, I mean, very similar to an Icon RDA. But Rep, how does a vape compare to an Icon RDA? Right there with it. You got more options with the Icon RDA, but what I love about this is I love the resin drip tip that comes with it. I love the resin. I love the airflow. The airflow is easily as smooth as something like the Icon. The build deck's a little bit different. Again, you have a little bit more options with the Icon. Which one's easier to build on? For your medium-sized builds, I think this is easier. Another big pro to this is price point, man. 27 bucks for this. I'll post a link down in the description that I know of that's selling this thing. 27 bucks all day, every day. Okay, here's the deal. If you're the vapor, like I said before, and you're looking for a device for your medium-sized to smaller fuse Claptons, alien builds, interlock aliens, medium to smaller style, intricate type of builds, or your big old round wire macro builds, that's what you got to be thinking about. If you're into all that, this is good. This is for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, liked it, found it entertaining and helpful. If you did like it, well then like the video down below. And if you want to see more of me, subscribe for more. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.